Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Tellin Tuesdays with myself, Deirdre Ryan. I am a certified parent coach and I work with clients one-on-one in person in Cork City. I also work online or over the phone, and I also run different workshops, meetups, talks. So if you're looking for some support as a parent, please do get in touch. So this week I've decided to revisit Dr. Kristin Neff's work on self-compassion. There is a previous video on it, and I didn't re-listen to it, so you can listen to one or both, but it just comes up all the time. It comes up with every single parent I talk to. It comes up in every single group I organize or workshop that I'm hosting. So I just want to bring it back again. And I also did make a little poster that's going to go out today in the newsletter. All right, so I've just made this today and it'll go in the newsletter, so you can print it out and put it up on your wall, put it all over your house, put it in the bathroom. That's a great place for, when you're brushing your teeth, just read through it again. Because I know for myself, I keep a lot of things up on the wall and messages around the place, because I find that when I am overwhelmed or stressed and I'm going into old patterns, it is very difficult for me to access my prefrontal cortex, right? It's because we know that when we're stressed, we're going back into our amygdala, our prefrontal cortex is offline. So it's hard for me to access skills and tools, especially ones that are relatively new for me. And self-compassion is relatively new for me, and but has changed everything for me, not just with parenting, with how I speak to myself, with how I am when I'm driving, how I am in a supermarket, wherever. It's very helpful in all areas for myself. So yeah, so if you want to put it up, have it around, so you can access it in the moment where you really, really need it. So Dr. Kristin Neff's 3 steps. So she's a world researcher on self-compassion. She's got a website that I can put in the comments as well. It's self-compassion.org. Her name is Dr. Kristin Neff, and her 3 components and the 3 steps of self-compassion are: first, noticing. Notice where you're feeling it in your body, right? Whatever's going on with you. You're feeling it in your chest, feeling your abdomen, is your arms, sometimes your feet. I hold a lot of tension there. In your jaw, right? Where are you feeling it? And again, we're noticing without judgment, without any desire to change it. Just noticing mindfully. That's all. Noticing, so what am I feeling in my body and what am I saying to myself? So what's going through my head at the time. Second step is you connect to common humanity. So you're taking it out of the personal, instead of being like, oh, this always happens to me, and me, and I'm so stupid, or whatever sometimes we say to ourselves. We're going to connect with common humanity. So we're saying things like, this is what it's like to be human. Of course, anyone in my position would feel like this. This is what it's like parenting when things are difficult, whatever. So you're connecting, all parents experience this sometimes as well. So you're just connecting out with common humanity, which it helps to calm the nervous system. I don't know why that is flashing like that on the screen, because it's not flashing in the room. But c'est la vie. We shall move on. And the 3rd step is you're talking to yourself kindly and warmly, like you would a best friend or dear friend. So you're saying, oh, honey, I hear you. This is really upsetting. This is really hard for you. I'm here with you, right? And again, gentle, soft touch, I personally like it a little bit. I like a bit firmer sometimes, and it's always this. I like to do this down my arms. That helps a lot. Or you might see I do this a lot, and even in the videos, I put my hand over my heart. So you're just really being there for yourself, reassuring yourself, being really kind to yourself. So this helps you to bring your own nervous system back down, right? Last week we talked about how the thoughts and how the way we speak to ourselves can set off our sympathetic nervous system response, that fight-flight response. So again, so we're noticing, we're bringing those thoughts, we're changing those thoughts, so we're calming our own nervous system. And then I can guarantee you 100 million% that those around you will also start to regulate, right? It is powerful. I've seen it personally in my own life, and from other people as well, who've shared, have reflected on how they've used it in their lives, both as parents and just as humans, right? Parents are humans. So it's a really powerful tool in those moments when you're feeling really, really stressed. So I will give you a wonderful example. I have millions of examples, but this one just happened yesterday. So I'm going to go with the newest one. So my kiddo was supposed to be going to the dentist, and that's a really hard thing for them to do. And they weren't able to do it yesterday. And I started to get into quite a distressed, almost panic inside of myself, because this pattern has been in our lives for a very long time, not knowing, if they'll go, if they won't go. So it's something that brings up a lot of fear and panic inside of me. And usually when I start to feel that fear and panic, right, my voice changes. Remember, vagus nerves going through your vocal cords, right? So I sound angrier and I sound tenser and my body's tensing, right? And then this obviously is going to affect not only myself, but my own kiddo who is distressed, right? We love that. They're having a hard time. They're not giving us a hard time. This is hard for them, right? So they're having a hard time. I'm reacting like this because I have a lot of stories in my head and I do have a lot of experiences that were upsetting in the past. So, in the past I would have gotten, really agitated and angry, and again, it's fear. It was fear. I'd activate my nervous system and I'd be like, what am I doing? I'm a bad parent, blah blah blah, the same stories that go on and on. So I didn't do that. I took the moment and I was like, oh wow, I could feel it. I mean, I felt it all across my chest, really tight and really shaky, right? And I could feel it down my arms. So I'm like, I just noticed, I'm like, wow, I'm feeling it there. Because even as I start noticing, I'm giving myself a separation. I'm giving myself a bit of space. So I'm noticing, I'm like, oh yeah, feeling that. Again, the stories I was absolutely telling myself is I'm a bad parent. This always happens, right? It doesn't. When you go into the always never, you've just gone off in a we call it in the house a turkey. So this always happens. I'll never get them to the doctor or the dentist. And it's like, so all that's, that's what I was thinking. And I was like, okay. And I was like, all right, connect to common humanity. Step 2, of course, this is really hard. This is an upsetting experience for me. And of course, this is an upsetting experience for my kiddo. This is difficult. Anyone in my position would feel like this, right? And like you can see, I do actually gravitate towards here when I'm trying to hold myself or comfort myself, right? And then the third step, forgot the third step. The flashing light is very distracting to me. Anyway. Third step is talking to yourself like your own best friend or your dear friend or someone who loves you. So, again, I'm going to be like, oh, honey. And this is how I spoke to myself. This is really upsetting. I hear you. You don't know what to do. You're feeling scared. You're feeling lost. I hear you. I've got you. It's going to be okay. All right. The feeling's going to pass. We know feelings aren't facts. And I'm really just doing that over and over and over. And then I just walked down the stairs and I called the dentist and I rescheduled, and that was that. And I was able to stay present for myself. And then I was able to really hear my kids' needs and support them in that moment, as opposed to getting so distressed and overwhelmed. And then we both would have been in a state. So I'm such a big fan of her work. It is just so profoundly effective. And as I said in the newsletter today, we're going to I'm going to send you that poster, print it out, put it up all over the place. It's really great for kids as well. It's something we practice internally, but in not when your child is dysregulated, but in times where maybe it's just you that are dysregulated. Maybe like yesterday I broke a dish, so something like that has nothing to do with my kid. I may speak out loud I may do the steps out loud just to model it, So again, not in a situation where your child's dysregulated, because that's not the time for any kind of teaching. That's a time for regulating ourselves, holding that space, and supporting them and ourselves, right? So, and also there is on Sounds True, I'm going to link that as well in the newsletter, and I'll try to link it here, that you can sign up for a 5-day, like a free 5-day, it's kind of a video series with Dr. Kristen Neff and Dr. Chris Charmer. They've written books together, and I've just done 2 days of it. They're just 10-minute videos about this length of this. And it just, again, the two of them will be showing you and teaching you how to access self-compassion. So I highly recommend it. It's free. It's 5 days. It's 10 minutes a day, and it'll be sent to your email. Absolutely nothing I ever recommend I have any affiliation with. I have no affiliation with anything, but I do love to share information. So wishing you all just the grace and the space to take those few minutes to really just connect in with yourself and treat yourself with love and compassion, right? In order for you to be the best you that you want to be, and also to be the parent you want to be, right? So again, it's just, I think it was one of the biggest game changers for me in my personal journey. So wishing you all so much love and so much compassion, and I will talk to you again next week. Bye.